going on? What's going on, guys?
This is a new one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Two Honks podcast. Oh, the only podcast on the internet. My name's Joe Little. Sitting across from me this evening is Lamar Costin, as always. Gotta tell you, Lamar.
Yeah.
Getting tired of the lording. Can you get a shorter chair? Can you get a goddamn chair that's a little bit shorter?
I actually lowered this.
That'd be great.
For you. I traditionally sit as close to the ceiling as possible, because that way when I'm in my lotus position,
yeah,
I can actually be more enlightened. I'm closer to the source.
Awesome.
Of light.
I feel like I'm getting closer to enlightenment myself.
Really?
As you'll notice.
You got a pony.
I tried to bun it. How'd I do?
You've got a little bit of a man bun going there.
Did I bun it good?
Yeah, you got a nice little bun.
Did I do a good bun?
Nice buns.
I
got a little pony, so it's the first time we've styled our hair for the show.
Yeah, look at that. We're special.
Yeah.
Has your hair ever been this long, Lamar?
I think it has been that long.
As long as it is right now, because mine has never been this long.
Yes.
I've never mulleted my hair extensively.
Thinking about growing it out, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna keep it ripping.
Yeah.
The thing that might go shorter is the beard. Might trim that.
Really?
Might cut it down. You know.
You're gonna trim the beard up a little bit.
It's not very aerodynamic. So.
Right. That's the most important thing when it comes to physical appearance.
Yeah, you got to cut down on wind resistance.
Yeah.
I hear people respond more positively to people in aerodynamic forms. Like if you have a naturally flat back, let's just say that you have a naturally flat back.
Okay.
You are 80% more likely to find a mate.
That's true. I did not know that.
It's true because we said it here, and we only say facts.
You said it on here, and that's what
it is.
I heard if you have a chiseled kind of a pointy nose, that means that you're going to be an alcoholic.
Yes.
That's what I read.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is a true one. I've also read that if you have a big toe that is the same size as your thumb, you're gay.
Right.
That means you're gay.
Yeah.
So, and that's good. I mean, we don't have, we at the Two Honks podcast don't have anything against gay people.
Or thumbs, really.
Or thumbs. Or people with thumbs that are the same size as their toes. Because, of course, as you now know and as you understand, those people are gay.
And that's great.
And that's good.
So what did you think about the AA meeting? We just got back from AA. If this is your first time joining Two Honks podcast, welcome to my beautiful studio apartment in downtown Portland.
Luxury.
This is a vintage apartment.
Vintage.
With wood floors.
Retro.
It's
1920s architecture.
It's gorgeous. South-facing windows.
South-facing.
It comes with an electric oven as well.
French doors.
French women also.
Yeah. Pets okay on landlord's approval. 24-month lease.
Yeah, welcome. You have to go ahead and give up the first month's rent upon move-in. But
$16.50 a month.
Yeah, it's a really affordable,
good deal,
beautiful apartment.
Beautiful.
This is episode 46 of the Two Honks podcast.
We're getting close to the 50th one. Are we going to have a party?
This is the only podcast on the internet.
Only podcast.
We just found that out. I had always assumed there were other podcasts.
Yeah, but we're the only ones.
This is the only one, and therefore we took it upon ourselves to only speak the truth on this podcast.
Yeah. Very fact based. You're only going to get facts on this podcast. We are on Spotify as well as other streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Which have you been reading the news lately?
I have.
Did you see what happened in the news?
Should we go over, do a quick little brief news summary?
Yeah. Well, so there was those people.
Right.
And they were talking to that guy.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, this guy.
He said.
He's not doing it. He's not doing it right.
The people said that he wasn't doing what they wanted him to do, and he's like in charge, right?
They said that he was wrong, and he was like, well, I might not be. And then.
Yeah. He said, no, he's not. And they said, well, we're going to go to the streets then.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they said.
Well, and then they wrote that letter to him, and they wrote that letter to his boss, and his boss was like, well, he's, kind of...
Yeah.
He's he might have said some things, but he's fine. We're going to keep him.
He basically said... He may have said this, but he didn't really.
Yeah, he may have said this, but he also said the other thing.
He also didn't, so.
So then he stopped, and that's why, that's why we're only talking about facts here.
Right.
We don't want it. We don't need that kind of controversy, really.
Yeah. And then there was like the border thing with the people that wanted to go across, and they were like, don't do that.
So that was the other thing where there was that one, it was a big group of guys.
Yeah.
A real big group of guys.
A big old hunk of guys.
And then there was a smaller group of guys like down here, and the big group of guys was coming down here.
They're like, hey, can we get through here?
Yeah, and these little guys were like, no, we're little and you're big, and can we just be little and you can be big? And they were like, no, you can't be little because we're big.
Right. And that was like a top headline I saw this morning.
Yeah, and then those other guys started talking about it, and now it's just a huge mess. If those other guys didn't get involved and just let those guys just be guys, we'd be fine. They just sorted out amongst,
It's kind of silly when you read it. It's like,
we're all having a human experience here, guys. Let's try to get along. Can't we all get along?
Right, exactly.
What is it with the news today?
I wanted to briefly just address the elephant in the room here because I got a lot of responses to last week's podcast about my weight.
Yeah.
And how I was talking about how, I can't wear belts because I'm uncomfortable. I can't breathe. And again, I'm wearing my gym pants here.
Gym pants.
Because I can breathe in these.
They look like jeans on camera.
Right. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have decided to alter my diet.
Okay.
Because I think I want to be able to wear belts if I feel like I want to wear belts.
Okay.
Okay, that's my choice.
Alrighty. So what are we doing for the diet now? What's happening there these days?
Well, I think we decided the word diet is kind of out now.
Yeah. So, we're adjusted eating.
Right.
I've been trying to figure out the terminology.
Alternative eating.
Yeah. Alternative eating processes.
Right. It's not very catchy. But
yeah, it's not really.
I've decided to instead of just eating whatever I feel like eating, I've kind of decided to try to eat some vegetables.
Okay.
Because I've heard that's good.
What vegetables do we have going on here?
Well, I showed you, I'm growing my own sprouts here. So this is actually, not only is this a beautiful vintage studio apartment, but this is also a garden. I'm growing my own food here.
Wow.
On my counter.
In your own apartment.
Sprouts is something anybody can do. You can
sprouts. Do we have those around here? Can we show the people?
We could show them.
Can we look? Yeah, let's get it for the camera here.
Grab these sprouts here.
This is some really impressive stuff here, people. Take note.
If you can't see these, it's basically just looks like sprouts.
Yeah. Big jar.
Yeah, look at that.
Big jar of sprouts.
Yeah, and this is actually really easy to do if you want to do it at home. I didn't know about this until recently.
Okay.
You get yourself a jar and you get yourself some seeds. You can sprout pretty much any seed. Sometimes they sell them for sprouting, but I think you can do pretty much any seed.
Okay.
I think beans are the only ones you have to be careful of. Everything else is fine, but sprouted beans can kill you or something.
So you take the seeds.
You soak them in water.
And you soak them in water.
For 12 hours. Then you dump it out. So you got this special lid here.
And that's how you dump out all the water.
Super easy, yeah.
After it soaks for 12 hours. And after 12 hours, what do you have?
Then you'll start to see it'll crack open.
It'll start to crack open.
And a little leaf thing will pop out of it.
Okay.
And that's how you would plant it at that point or whatever. Or maybe it would be in the ground at that point.
Yeah.
But basically you just rinse it with water every 12 hours.
Yeah.
So twice a day. And then in 2 days, it looks like that.
Wow.
And you just shove it in your hole, your food hole.
In your food mouth, in your mouth hole.
And it's got, tons of newts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's super cheap. It's like the freshest and cheapest food you can eat.
So
probably.
Are you just eating this raw? You putting it in sandwiches? What are you doing with it?
I put an avo on there.
You put an avo on there?
I put it in a bowl and I put an avo on it.
Okay.
And then I've been putting a little hot sauce on there too and a little crazy with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of hot sauce are we talking about?
It's actually the habanero one that Sarah made.
Yeah.
It's pretty spicy.
Yeah, that stuff is a spicy meatball, let me tell you.
It's tasty.
Yeah, she made some other kind of hot sauce that I polished off today,
really?
actually. I put that shit on a ham sandwich because I am on a new diet too.
You put it on a hammy.
Yeah, my new diet, and thanks for asking, by the way.
Right, of course.
Is starving
Okay.
myself.
I haven't heard of that one.
So I don't eat for 20 hours at a time.
That's a long time.
And within 4 hours of a well, I mean, for like 8 of those hours, I'm sleeping. So it's not really that big of a deal.
The rest of the time that you're awake, but you're not eating, you just feel like you're dying, right?
Not really.
Okay.
You know, after like 2 days, you're pretty much like good.
Really?
You know? Like, think about this. You know, did cavemen eat 3 meals a day?
I don't know.
Were they
any.
constantly eating food?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I mean, sometimes they wouldn't eat for several days, and
Right.
they lived.
Do you know a caveman?
know?
Is that how you're getting this information?
No. You know why I'm doing this diet, though?
Yeah.
The reason that I'm doing, you know, the starving thing is it's less of a diet than it is an apocalypse preparation.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Ready, you're prepared.
Because when the grid goes down
Yeah.
and there's no food anywhere,
You can still grow sprouts.
yeah, you could still grow sprouts.
Right.
And I can be hungry for a while. You know, the only thing I'm really going to need is some water.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to sustain myself and hunt and provide for those who rely on me.
What do you think you'll be hunting humans at that point in the city, or we have squirrels and crows?
My hope is that I could hunt animals
Yeah.
in nature and not have to kill
House
and
cats
eat,
or
people.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's going to get a little hairy in the city, I think. There are a lot of dogs and
Yeah.
cats in the city, but they're not.
well, I very much plan to not be in the city when
That's a good
when
idea.
it happens.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, if you have any good suggestions on where you want to be during the apocalypse, go ahead and shoot us an email to honkspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you're going to do during the apocalypse.
Yeah. That's an interesting take to prepare for that.
Yeah.
I might be screwed in that case because I'm going to be potentially hungry all the time from my sprout diet.
Yeah.
And maybe I won't be able to eat human meat anymore.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
Body might not be ready for it. You've been eating sprouts for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to do, maybe this is like a recurring section here, but I want to just briefly talk about a new book I got.
Okay.
Because I guess I read a lot.
Yeah.
Do I? Not really.
I think since you quit drinking, you started reading.
I got a book.
I started doing audiobooks
You're doing audiobooks.
because I can't read.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can read, and so I'm reading books.
Yeah.
And I went to a free library, and
Wow.
I found a book that I was very excited about,
Wow.
and I want to share it with you.
Were you excited about it?
I was very excited about this.
Wow.
Some of our listeners might know this name. This is by John Lilly.
John Lilly?
John Lilly
Wow.
was known for a previous book.
A previous book? What was his previous book?
His previous book was called The Center of the Cyclone.
The Center of the Cyclone?
The Center of the Cyclone?
Wow.
And it's a very odd book. And this is the successor to that book, the follow-up to it,
The follow-up to that book?
The Center of the
Wow.
Cyclone. This book, which I took the cover off of, is called The Dyadic Cyclone.
The Dyadic Cyclone?
The Dyadic Cyclone.
Wow.
And for anybody who doesn't know, the Center of the Cyclone was about taking LSD with dolphins
With dolphins?
in sensory deprivation tanks
Wow.
in the late 50s. That sounds pretty far out because it is. And the other interesting thing is that John Lilly invented sensory deprivation tanks in the late 50s. And that's pretty cool, I thought.
That's pretty cool.
So this book is a follow-up.
Didn't they give the dolphins LSD?
I don't know if they gave the dolphins LSD, but he took LSD next to the dolphins and they telepathically communicated.
And they were trying to talk to the dolphins?
And he did it, and he wrote a book about it called The Center of the Cyclone, where he telepathically communicates with dolphins.
With dolphins?
With dolphins?
With dolphins?
And it's pretty far out. That's actually harder to keep going than I thought it would be. But that's actually a real book. And
really,
this is also a real book. You can hear it.
Yeah.
I found this at
if you're not doing the video version of this,
yeah,
you can hear that. You can hear the book.
This is a book about...
What happened to my...
I just want to...
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Good Lord.
You guys.
We got some...
What happened?
We got some tentacle issues here.
What's happening right here?
The interesting thing about this book, immediately after starting to read it, I'm on page... Started reading it last night on page, like, 3. He already has mentioned hanging out with Alan Watts.
Oh, really?
In a hot bath.
In a hot bath?
Yeah, he was at Esalen Institute in Big Sur.
Okay.
Alan Watts was giving a lecture there, and I guess John Lilly already knew him because John Lilly wrote the book about dolphins.
Yeah.
And LSD, and Alan Watts was like, "Hey, that's pretty groovy, man."
Yeah.
You know? So they were like hanging out naked in the bath, and I was like, this is kind of a trip.
Yeah.
But this is like really far out stuff because he invented the sensory deprivation tank to explore the inner self.
Yeah.
You know, when like before LSD was even a thing. So he did that for a whole decade, just sober in the tank. And this was, since he invented the tanks, he started with freshwater tanks where he had to have a mask on to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
And I guess by the time he was like doing LSD with the dolphins and stuff, he had figured out how to do saltwater tanks.
Yeah.
So he could float on top and not have to worry about wearing this mask because it like takes away from some of the experience.
Yeah.
And that's how he communicated with dolphins.
I mean, that's very interesting because, I mean, with the sensory deprivation thing, it's like you realize that your psychedelic experiences already like exists in your own body.
Right.
It's a very natural thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he makes a point here, and again, I just started this book, but he makes a point I just read recently, which I'm not going to be able to find here, but he did say... He said something about how the inner space is like just as vast as outer space is.
Yeah.
But we limit it. We basically limit it ourselves by our construct of consciousness. Yeah. So if we can dissolve those inner limitations, we can actually explore inner space like as if we were an astronaut in outer space, and we don't have, it's like free. You don't have to like go anywhere.
Well, and isn't that the concept of the sensory deprivation tank? Like it takes away all that other sensory stimulus,
right,
for you to be able to search inside yourself at what else might be there.
Right. You can be a voyager,
you know,
a psychonaut, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty interesting, and it's very far out, but he's also like really heady. He's like an intellectual guy. He's got a science background. Yeah. So it's kind of written from that perspective, which can be a little bit tricky to read sometimes, but I appreciate that he's like really careful. He's steadfast about his research.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking.
Sounds like a bunch of stupid bullshit to me.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, you do you.
Right.
That's good.
He did him.
Yeah,
I think.
He did him, and now you're doing him.
I'm doing me, or I'm doing him.
You're doing him. You're doing him doing you.
Right. He did him, and I'm doing him.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if he did me back.
Yeah, I think he will.
I feel hurt if he didn't do it back.
Yeah. I think he'll call you.
You think so? I think he might be dead. Didn't he die?
Didn't he die?
I think he's probably dead because this book was written in like the 60s. John Lilly.
John Lilly?
That's his wife. She's like a co-writer.
I mean, maybe his wife is still alive.
Do you think she'll do me?
I think she'll do you.
Okay. Well, as long as one, I mean, I don't really care who does it.
Yeah, I mean, one of them should probably do you.
Doesn't even have to be.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be her.
John Lilly, if you're out there, do my friend.
Please?
Yeah.
I shouldn't even have to ask. Really.
What's his wife's name? Antoinette?
Yeah. He called her Tony, so
Tony.
I think it's okay if I call her Tony as well.
Tony? Yeah. I feel like you guys probably know each other well enough.
Hey, Tony, would you do me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Tony, do me a favor, Tony.
Hey, Tony, do me a favor. Hey.
Do me, Tony.
Hey, do me. Tony, do me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's take a break here.
Let's take a quick break. We'll get right back to it.
Yeah, let's hop back into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
And we are back.
We're back.
That was a good break.
Yeah, that was a good break. We got some more hot cocoa.
You found out that I'm a chess world champion.
Chess world champion. I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm playing
All these years we've been friends, and I had no idea you were a chess world champion.
You know, it's something I don't like to suck my own horn on that one.
Yeah.
In front of a lot of people. But it's true. I started playing chess about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And it was a little touch and go for a minute, but I found a compadre that I play with online in Canada, and he taught me to be a grandmaster in
really
a few short months. So now I'm winning a lot, and it feels good.
It seems as though you have some sort of Canadian chess sensei, as it were.
Yeah, I guess I kind of lucked out that way.
Have you ever met this individual, or did you?
No.
You only conversed in the ways of chess.
Yeah, it was the universe kind of provided the relationship in that way, because it when you're on this app, as the kids call it, it automatically pairs you with somebody and he also happened to be a grandmaster.
Okay.
And so he taught me his ways. And like I said, in I don't know, about 2 months or so, I went from not really knowing how to play the game to winning every game I play.
Winning every single
including
game.
The ones with him.
And that's when you worked your way to the top and became the chess champion.
Yeah, world champion.
Of the world.
And it's really easy. It's not like people think that,
it would be hard to be the world champion of anything, but when it comes to chess,
it took me.
It's very easy.
I literally spent like 10 minutes a day for about 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's so easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, I don't know.
It's all about having a good sensei. And while we're talking about senseis, have you watched Cobra Kai?
I have. I've seen the series.
Me as well.
So now
can we talk about this?
I think we should probably wrap it.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Can we talk about it?
Okay. I think we're allowed. I think we can.
I think we should chop it up.
I think we can chop it up about this.
Let's chop it down. Karate chop it.
So for those of you who don't know, Cobra Kai is a series on Netflix.
Right.
It was released and is based on the classic. What is it? 80s?
It's timeless.
90s film? Is it an 80s film?
I think it's 80s.
Classic 80s film.
Timeless.
Karate Kid.
Right. Daniel LaRusso.
Wherein Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence.
He's the bad guy in the original Karate Kid, right?
He's in the original Karate Kid. He is the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Is the victim of the swan. Daniel LaRusso.
That's the name of it? Okay.
Kicks his ass with the swan.
Yeah.
Where he puts his hands up like this.
That's anything. If you remember anything about the movie, that's the last kick.
Yeah. So flash forward about 40 years.
Right. They're all washed up and old.
They're all old. And let's talk about the fact that Daniel LaRusso, as an older man, is apparently still some type of karate master.
Right.
But he has no muscles on his body at all.
Right.
And he walks like a mannequin.
Right.
He walks like a person who put on a human costume and then decided to participate with the rest of us.
Right. I remember when we talked about this show a while back, I had kind of described the way he moves as a JCPenney pants salesman.
Yes.
But maybe you're right. Maybe he's more of a mannequin at a JCPenney's. After hours, he comes to light and does karate.
Which, I mean, I need to set the record straight. I mean, if you're a skinny dude, you don't have that many muscles, that's fine. Sure. I get it. You're allowed to do that. But I'm just not going to believe that you're some sort of karate master.
Yeah. Well, he's not only skinny, and lacking of any muscle mass anywhere on his body.
Yeah.
But he's also, the way he walks is kind of like he slumps around a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of frumpy. He's kind of a frumpy guy.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the best posture. And
He doesn't,
you
yeah.
think a karate master would at least have a good
Right.
posture. Because isn't that part of it?
I think it's part of it.
Yeah.
What's the son's name in that one? That's really good at karate, that goes back and forth on the sides.
Oh, Johnny Lawrence's son?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering his name right now, but
Reader or something? Rory or Rick? Randall?
Randall.
Let's call him Randall. He looks like a Randall.
Yeah, Randall has really good posture.
Yeah.
Now, he carries himself with a lot of like dignity and kind of like has a long neck.
And Randall, he starts in the ways of the Miyagi-Do.
Right.
He's a peaceful karate man.
He is.
And learns from Daniel LaRusso.
And then he gets his feelings hurt or something, right?
Well, and then he has like one good day with his dad, which is Johnny Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And then the karate chaos happens at the high school.
Right.
The karate gang fight.
Right.
Can we talk about this?
That sounds pretty cool.
These grown men, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso, have turned these teenagers into weapons,
right?
And turned them into opposing karate gangs that battle each other in a place of education.
And they should be learning mathematics. Yeah. They should be learning literature.
I mean, they need
Yates.
These kids are going to have a future, and that future is going to go a little bit beyond karate. Okay.
Instead of working your muscles, maybe you should work your brain out when you're in school, kids?
Nothing wrong with doing karate, but maybe, when it's time for science class, just study some science.
For every season, there's a time.
Don't worry about karate.
Yeah, when you're in social studies class, you don't do math. When you're in math class, you don't do spelling.
Yeah.
And when you're in school, you don't do karate.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that hard to understand?
Karate is for karate class.
Yeah, there's a time for that.
And school is for school time.
Yeah.
They don't intersect.
And that's something that, Johnny Lawrence or whatever and Daniel LaRusso maybe should have sat down and talked about.
Yeah.
When is a good time to practice this karate?
Yeah, when is the karate supposed to occur? But these guys, they don't do it.
Right.
They don't do it. They don't deal with their own burden.
Right.
Their own internal struggles.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Johnny Lawrence really quick?
What a mess, huh?
At the beginning of the series, total mess.
Yeah.
Total mess.
Talk about a guy who needs to go to AA, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing he talks about is the one karate match he lost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You were a teenager.
How does it feel to be so insignificant?
You were 18 years old. Right. You had the whole world in front of you.
Back in my day.
You lose one karate match. And all of a sudden, you're a drunk contractor,
right?
With nothing to show for it, nothing to show for your life.
He's a hornball
because you lost one karate match, Johnny Lawrence. How about give me a break?
Can we talk about acceptance and just moving on?
Can we? Yeah, just move on.
Yeah,
you lost. He got you. Who cares if it was an illegal kick? It's over.
Right.
It's over, man.
Bringing up old stuff. You know what I mean?
Let it go.
Yeah.
We talk about that in the program, Letting it go. Let it go. Just let it go.
Right. You got to move forward. You got to build things up and not break them down, not tear them down.
Yeah, exactly. Which Johnny Lawrence, it seems like he built up his muscles.
Right.
Daniel LaRusso didn't build up his muscles.
Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso was just too busy becoming a skeevy little used car salesman guy.
Right. Were they used?
Kicking the competition. Well, I think he had a used lot.
Mm-hmm.
He had a new lot too.
Right.
But he built up that and didn't build any muscles. And Johnny Lawrence didn't work on his future, and he built up his muscles. I guess. I guess they're really like a yin to a yang type of deal.
Yeah.
I
put that show on the same par as Baywatch just because they're really cheesy.
Yeah.
But you kind of can't stop watching.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Speaking of Baywatch, have you seen this new Pam and Tommy?
No, I have not. I've heard about it.
I think you need to watch it because it's really well done.
Okay.
They're still releasing episodes, but I'm just happy to see Pamela Anderson again, even though it's not her and it's an
not
actress.
her. It's just an actress.
She does a good job, and I think the boobs look very similar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Similar
Great.
job done there as well.
Well, yeah.
But it's. I don't want to give anything away if you haven't seen it or if our people.
Well, we're gonna have to check that out.
I would recommend it.
Circle back to it next
Circle
week,
back.
you know?
Yeah, just circle it in.
But yeah, I mean, Cobra Kai, it's open-ended. There's probably going to be another season, and we'll have to just stew on that when that time comes, won't we?
It'll probably just continue on forever.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it does. I mean, it's a never-ending story. You got the kids.
Right.
The kids are doing karate.
The kids don't age. Is that right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, they don't age. And the other thing about the kids that's really fascinating is it apparently only takes 3 months to learn karate.
That's it.
To know all the karate.
Slightly more than chess.
Yeah, slightly more than chess. You know all the karate moves, and then you can start a karate gang.
Yeah.
That's
good to know. Maybe I'll do that next.
Yeah, maybe I'll get into it. Maybe we'll start that together.
I got an opening in my schedule. I got about 20
maybe
minutes
the Two
a day.
Honks podcast could be the world's #1 karate podcast.
Maybe we'll come to your neighborhood and beat you up.
Yeah, exactly.
See how you feel about it.
Kick your ass. See how you feel about it.
For no reason.
Yeah.
While you're eating lunch.
Yeah. Eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
Kick that right out of your face with my fucking karate.
Right.
Check that out.
How's that sandwich?
How's that? It's karate in your pipe and smoking it.
It's like a floor sandwich now.
Yeah. You give that sandwich to the ground.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do.
Smash it.
Yeah. Slap you around a little bit.
Speaking of slapping things around, I don't know if it's okay for us to even talk about this.
Yeah.
But what is going on with all the plastic?
Why?
Why are we buying it? Why are we producing it? Why are we throwing it in the rivers and the oceans?
Is there plastic in this?
I'm sure there's plastic in everything.
I think there's some plastic there.
They recently found plastic in a newborn infant. Did you see that study? Yeah.
They found plastic in newborn. Was it in the newborn's blood? Do we have plastic in our blood now?
It was in utero and in the newborn. Yeah, it's plastic is in all of our bodies, including unborn children.
Okay.
The future of our world.
So we're not only carbon based, we are plastic based as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit older than you, so I remember eating a lot of plastic.
Yes.
As a kid, we didn't have the BPA free stuff, and we had microwave trays that were leaching plastics into our foods.
Yeah.
I was drinking out of the hose all the time. That thing didn't taste very good.
Yeah.
It tasted like plastic.
I drank out of my hose the other day just to feel something.
You got to do it, you know.
You
do have to do it.
Sometimes. I mean, if you just need to feel.
Sometimes you do.
That's what you do.
But my question is just why, everybody's talking about other stuff, and it's like, I see it everywhere. You take a walk around this neighborhood or probably any neighborhood, and especially in this city, it's kind of a dump.
Yeah.
And there's just all this plastic, and you look, it's like, let's take water bottles, for example.
Uh-huh.
Those are easy because it's like you had, 5 sips on this bottle of water, and now it's going to sit there for 500 years or 1,000 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Well, and I mean, obviously I have a toddler at home, and there's these little plastic, cars that he plays with at times. And some of those cars he only enjoys for maybe 2.5 minutes.
Right. That's it.
And then that car will take thousands of years to dissolve. My actual car won't even last as long as his toy car will,
Right.
That's and why are we doing this?
Nobody seems to want to talk about it, and maybe we shouldn't be bringing this up. Maybe we're
bio-friendly plastic. Is that a thing?
Is there a way we can just stop it?
Is there hemp plastic? Can we not?
I bet there is.
Yeah.
I bet there's a hemp plastic.
Can we not?
Can we just not do that?
Yeah. Why are we doing that?
I don't know.
And why does it end up in the ocean? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think that has to do with the whole recycling is kind of a scam thing. Where it was actually they knew when they rolled the program out that it wasn't really, it was just supposed to look good.
Yeah.
And they really just they sold it to China or something, and now China doesn't want it. It's it all goes into the landfill anyways.
Yeah.
But we're still going through the motions, rinsing stuff out.
Why would we need to give that to China?
I think they
I think they have everything in China.
I think they like
Don't they have everything?
take our trash and turn it into more stuff for us to buy.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do. They melt it down and turn it into more crap.
I've been watching the Olympics lately. They got a couple of gold medals in China. I'll tell you
is
that
that
much
right?
right now.
Okay.
You got a few of them.
Oh, okay.
Got all kinds of them.
Did you know that we talk about the economy a lot here because
Yeah.
we're kind of a
We're economy
we're
buffs.
sophisticated show.
We're finance.
We're finance.
Finance.
We are finance.
We are finance.
I learned recently that the Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree.
Really?
Yeah.
$1.25.
They didn't change the name, but
Have we
everything.
talked about inflation?
Nobody wants to talk about
Nobody
it.
wants to talk about inflation.
They haven't changed the name, but when you go in there, it's all $1.25.
That is really crazy.
Isn't that wild? It's
You
not
know what?
like,
I heard that Starbucks raised their prices recently, too.
Is that right?
And here's the funny thing about Starbucks, and this is a fact.
Everything's
You
a
can
fact.
you can
yeah.
take this one to the bank and smoke it.
Right.
Okay. Starbucks raised their prices, and their reasoning for raising their prices is, they said the supply chains are bad, and the demand and the blah blah blah, and they're
Right.
just having a hard time making a profit. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
2021, they recorded record profits. They've made more money than they've ever made in any other year, and they're raising their prices.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Is that interesting?
Yeah.
Is this inflation? Is this really inflation that's happening? Are we really doing this?
Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about this?
Can we talk
is it
about-
really inflation or is it artificial inflation? Are they messing
Yeah.
with us, man?
Well, the other thing about Starbucks is
Yeah.
that they don't even really sell coffee.
They
It's
don't.
just
It's not real.
it's just like fluffy sugar, right?
Yeah, and the other thing about Starbucks is that's very interesting to me is that it's not real.
It's not coffee.
It's not a place.
It's not even real, right?
It's not even a bill. They're not there.
right.
You think that Starbucks is there. You
You're-
think
yeah.
that you're in the Starbucks drive-through, but you're nowhere, man.
Right.
You're not anywhere.
I see those people
At
in
all.
line just circled around nothing.
Why are they nowhere? Why are they going nowhere?
Yeah.
There's so many people going nowhere.
You could pay a lot less to go nowhere,
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
I mean, I'm going nowhere right now, and I'm spending $0.
Right.
$0 out of this pocket.
So that's how they make their
You
money.
know,
That sheds a lot of light on the situation.
I don't think it's real. I don't think that I don't think that just about anything is real anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, am I real?
Well, we were talking earlier on the break about how maybe we might be the only two people left on the planet.
I think that we are, because earlier today we realized that we're the only podcast on the internet.
Yeah.
And when we put the podcast out, nobody listens to it.
Right.
So that just kind of leads me to believe that,
There's no other explanation for that.
yeah, like when we went to AA earlier, it was kind of weird that nobody was there. We just kind of
Yeah, just sat there.
we just put on the meeting ourselves.
Right.
You know, it was fun to wear a few different hats and tell a few different stories,
Yeah.
kind of fill up the hour.
I had a good time.
I had a good time, but I think that we are the only people left. So, I mean, if there's no reason to,
Yeah.
I mean, we're broadcasting for ourselves, I guess.
I'm having fun.
I'm having a good time.
Speaking of fun, how about that Zamboni at the
How
AA
about
meeting?
it? Yeah. Why what were they doing with that?
I've never seen a Zamboni
They were going to clean the
inside
floor.
a basement. Yeah, and they were going to like ride it around and clean the floor, I guess.
Yeah, I think we should have helped them.
Probably should have
They
helped.
they asked us to help,
I wanted to
but they
ride
aren't
it.
real.
Right.
Like, they are not real
That Zamboni looks
because we
real.
were the only ones there.
Yeah.
But somebody had to put the Zamboni there,
I
so
mean-
maybe we're not the only two people left on the world.
I
don't
would
know.
ride it around though, just for fun.
Yeah,
Even if it's not cleaning.
take it for a ride.
Yeah.
Take it for a zip.
Yeah. I
Take it
guess
for a ride.
lonely. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What do you